Greetings YouTube, Obelisk TGS here, and welcome to my corner. Today I'm going to be talking about Dragons of Autumn Twilight, but not the book, as awesome as this is. Instead, I am going to be talking about the deck, which is my Chaos Dragons. At this point, I'd say this deck is teetering between Relevant and Rogue. It will still get you those amazing wins, but at the same time, it's not nearly the beast that it used to be. And right now, I'd say there are 3 ways to take the deck. This is one of them. It's a standard style. There also exists a Lightsworn heavy variant, and there's also one that plays Gravekeeper's Spy, Gravekeeper's Guard, Gold Sarcophagus, and is capable of doing some crazy plays. So yeah, let's just get right down to this, shall we? The deck consists of 3 Pulsar Dragon, still an amazing card, just watch out for Prism and Bottomless. And then you've got 2 copies of Dark Flare Dragon. I don't like more than 2. I even thought about taking this down to 1. Dark Flare Dragon is pretty much like this. If you want to run more copies of it, you're going to need to find ways to get it to the graveyard, because he can be pretty clunky with the amount of boss monsters that you already have in the deck. I would play 3 in the Lightsworn heavy version though, but I would say no more than 2 in everything else. And then you got your Eclipse Wyvern. Only 1 in a non-Lightsworn heavy variant, because that has so much more milling to make this hit the grave more. But yeah, with only 2 targets in the standard version, there's really no reason to run more than just 1. Then you got 1 copy of Red MD, the best dragon in the game, and then 1 Dark Auto Wind Dragon. Alongside this, I am running a copy of Trag. I like his ability to get over Thunder King, and he can be pretty big in the deck. Not to mention he opens up some crazy Xyz plays. 1 copy of Gores, because it's that amazing. 1 copy of Sackluster Soldier, and 1 Chaos Sorcerer. They do what they do. Then 2 copies of Debris Dragon. I really like this card in the deck. He just opens up all kinds of crazy plays depending on what you have in your hand. Being able to go Black Rose Dragon followed up at Light Pulsar Dragon is just absolutely stupid. Especially if you've got a Red MD in the grave, then you've nuked their field. You got a 2500 floater that, if they get rid of, becomes a 2800 beater that will bring back the 2500 floater, or even Black Rose Dragon if need be. So Debris opens up some wombo combo stuff, and you can also make Iron Chain Dragon and Orient Dragon through the use of whatchamacallit, Raikou. 2 copies of Card Trooper for milling. It's a Debris target. Then 2 copies of Tour Guide, Sangan, and a Night Assailant, who is also a Debris target. I wouldn't run Night Assailant in many other decks, but in here, definitely. Tour Guide target, it's a dark, it's allurable, and you can pitch it for like Pulsar Dragon, which in turn gets you a Raikou back in the graveyard. Speaking of which, time for the Lightsworn engine. I am running, of course, your 3 Lila, your 3 Raikou, 1 copy of Jane to get over T-King and other annoying monsters like that, and 1 copy of Aaron to get around Defender monsters such as Zemains, Sangan, and this. If you think they're sitting on a monster that benefits in hitting the graveyard, kick it back into the deck. I feel that 6 to 8 Lightsworns total is a must in the deck. It gives you more milling, makes your recharges more playable, which in turn sets you up for those big pushes. So we'll get these out of the way. And then for my hand traps, 2 copies of Effect Veiler and 2 copies of Maxie. I feel that 2 and 2 is needed in this deck. Veilers are a light, and the card's still good. Granted, some decks can push right through the Veiler. It can still keep you from being locked up by Shockmaster and so forth. And Maxie lets you draw into your outs to those cards. And that's it for the monsters. As for the spells, I am running 3 copies of Solar Recharge. I have 8 Lightsworn monsters. This card's still pretty playable, although there will be those times where you open with 3 Recharge and you don't draw into a Lightsworn for like ever. Those are the type of games you'll end up losing. 2 copies of MST, and then for the limited cards, Charge, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and Monster Born. I'm not running a lore, even though I probably could. It's just I wanted to keep the deck at 40 cards, and I just found that I don't really like having very many targets I would want to lure off. It's not like where you have like that extra copy of Tour Guide that you can't use because you already lost another Tour Guide and a Sangan to mills. The dark monsters you have in this deck I find are worth keeping in your hand, save for like that 1 or 2. So I decided not to run a lure. I know it's good. Don't get me wrong on that. It's just that I could run cards that are more standalone. And that's it for the deck itself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching. Until next time,